As the case of Vic Mignogna seemingly enough appears to be coming to an end, members within the hashtag #KickVic movement are taking it on Twitter and not only rejoicing in the fact that Vic Mignogna's livelihood is destroyed, but also go on to further call out the I Stand With Vic movement, along with not only having to rejoice in the idea that a man's livelihood and career is over without any further justification, but today we are going to be taking a look at what #KickVic had been saying and doing following the events of the initial hearing involving Judge Chubb. As once more before we begin, if you are new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with all things involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Ron Toye, and many of the news and updates involving the Vic Mignogna case, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. Be sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up if you guys do stand with Vic, as well as making sure to check out and subscribe to my main channel over at UnrealNetwork, to where there you guys will be able to find lots of anime and Dragon Ball content that you guys will not get to find on here. And follow me at Twitter at UnrealNetwork to stay connected with me at all times. And if you have anything you would like to share or tag me in involving Vic Mignogna or any of the parties involved in this case, then be sure to go on ahead and follow me at Twitter. As #KickVic now begins to celebrate, we observe how Dominique Sky had taken it upon Twitter and having to state, and I quote, "Sweet karma. I should make a video about it and embellish like Ty did about me. Effing clown." To in which I do want to go on ahead and point out one thing in the fact that Ty Beard never actually did a video on anybody, which includes Dominique Sky. And yes, Ty had said lots of things on Nick Rekieta's live stream, but never once had he ever made a video on Dominique or anybody else. But this is a good example of how Dominique is talking about karma. Meanwhile, these are the same individuals that literally destroyed a man's livelihood, even still till this day, with the evidence having to be presented but never argued in the correct manner. But it doesn't end there, because members of the #KickVic movement are not only going as far as to rejoice in the fact that Vic is about to seemingly lose this case, but Shane Holmberg went on to state, and I quote, "Everyone, the tears are real. People talk about the I Stand With Vic tears, but it is not just hype. They are real. Now watch as they continue to eat their own." Now, what Shane is referencing to here are how some people within the I Stand With Vic movement are starting to go against each other after the litigation from yesterday, in the fact that if there was ever a time to stick together and stick with Vic Mignogna, this would be it, because a lot of people in this community are beginning to fight now, and rightfully so. People are passionate, people are upset, but if there's anyone that needs your support right now, it's Vic. And Vic wouldn't want his fans, nor anyone else that stands with him, to argue or to fight amongst each other, because there's still more to the allegations made against Vic. As of course, right now we do have 30 more days until the judge has a ruling on defamation and conspiracy with Funimation, Monica Rial, and Ron Toye. So there's a chance that the judge might dismiss that completely, or the judge might find ruling in that and actually favor Vic in this case. But regardless of anything else, Vic is going to have to pay for the legal fees of Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, and Ronald Toye, which is a big loss for Vic. But the rumor mill going around is that Stephanie Nadonly is going to come out against Chris Sabat, and people within #KickVic are actually taking that with a grain of salt and having to put that into question. People such as Therese27, as Therese went along to state, and I quote, "Nick said that he authenticated it. The first time he showed it, he said he hadn't authenticated it, but the next night he claimed that he had authenticated it despite not having talked to her yet." So of course this is in reference to Stephanie Nadonly having to come out against Chris Sabat, as many people are beginning to wonder if she's going to do so, and as of right now, accordingly enough, it would seem that she is. But people within #KickVic are already calling her a drunk, they're calling her a liar, anything to actually back up Chris Sabat in this case, even in reference to Chuck Huber, right? With Chuck Huber having to submit his affidavit, they immediately went to follow by calling him a flat earther and saying that he believes in conspiracies. What does any of this have to do with Chuck Huber's experience at Funimation, specifically around Sabat, around Schimmel, and around these people when they further went on ahead to slander Vic, but also do things behind the scenes that ruined other people's careers? But it continues, as Shane Holmberg went on to state, and I quote, "They accused Jamie of hiding from the law because she was walking her pets or at the store, yet Vic fled the state and not a word." As an individual that goes by the name of Dorkland went on to comment, if Vic cared that much, he wouldn't have been hiding in California. I have no knowledge or idea about what it is they're referencing on Vic having to hide out in California, but Shane is insinuating that Vic had fled the state and not a single person is talking about it. So it's disgusting to see that, but I'm still going to stand with Vic just because out of everybody in this community, I firmly believe in the guy and I'm firmly gonna stand with him until the very end. But there is more. Now, apparently enough, we are going to see something happen with Chris Sabat in the next few weeks, perhaps, as Greg Doucette went along to ask the question, as he went along to tweet, and I quote, "Can someone who's more up to speed clue me in as to what is going on here? Because if I'm reading it right, it sure sounds like the Nadonly Facebook DMs that Chuck Huber sent to Screech, which is Nick, about Voice of Vegeta, which is Chris Sabat, were wholly fabricated by Kiwi Farms." Now, that wasn't fabrication. The DMs are real, and if Stephanie comes out and sharing her story about what happened with Chris Sabat, on top of everything that people have reported Sabat in doing that directly affects Vic Mignogna, we could potentially be seeing another lawsuit on the horizon, but we don't know that until, of course, Stephanie comes out and the litigation between Monica, Jamie, Ron, Funimation, and Vic has finally come to an official close. But guess who else is back at it? Renfamous, as Renfamous went on to state, and I quote, "Vic Mignogna's fans are ramping up the harassment as they realize Vic's lawsuit isn't going to have the result they hoped for. If you criticized Vic at any point, I highly recommend downloading Twitter blockchain and running it on follower lists and chain accounts, blah blah blah." So if there's one thing, guys, if there's one thing that Vic Mignogna doesn't want you to do, and he's went on record so many times in saying this, don't harass anybody. Vic doesn't want you to go out and harass people. Vic doesn't want you to be up in arms and yelling and fighting. Do you know what Vic wants? Vic simply wants your support. Vic wants you to stand by him, and Vic wants you to be there for him when he needs you the most. Vic doesn't want you to go out there and fight people and turn on each other, because in this community, we're all here for the support of Vic Mignogna. And if there's any other shadow agenda amongst that, then you're a piece of shit, but everybody is here just for the sole purpose of standing with Vic. So by Renfamous going out there saying that Vic Mignogna fans are ramping up the harassment, first of all, putting things into question is not a form of harassment. If you begin to ask questions in a very productive manner, by no means is it classified as harassment. If someone is direct with insults or is very pessimistic in their nature and approach towards you, then sure, that could be labeled as harassment. But these people are lying and they're celebrating all around Twitter, and I've shown you guys multiple examples of this. So the question here is, where do we go with the litigation after Monica Rial, Ron Toye, and Funimation is settled? Where do we go from here? So again, I want to get your feedback down below. I'm going to close this video off with a clip that I really want you guys to sit on, because this was something that I posted before, and I want you guys to continuously watch it because it's the message within the video that I think is the absolute most powerful. So more importantly, guys, I hope you guys take care of yourselves and each other. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at UnrealNetwork. If you have anything to tag me in or want to showcase that you want featured on the video, because there's going to be so much more information dropping in the next couple of days, and the next 30 days are going to be very crucial because we're going to find out what's going to happen to this case with the judge having to rule on defamation and conspiracy. So I want to get your thoughts down below. Again, Twitter is where it's at, so be sure to follow me on Twitter at UnrealNetwork. Link will be located down below. If of course you guys are new to this channel and are in support for Vic Mignogna, then hit that subscribe button, guys. Tune back in for more. I'm not going to give up, and I really hope to God that you guys don't either. So again, thank you so much for your time, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys.
You reflect on things that are going on, you know what I mean? Difficulties and people and motivations and agendas, you know. I had a thought. I want to share it with you guys. This is just a general observation, and I hope you'll take this home with you. Our world is becoming more and more angry. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Yes.
People are angry. People are angry. And here's what I was thinking the other day. I watched a movie on an airplane a few weeks ago. 5 feet apart, 6 feet apart. It was about a girl that had a disease that makes you very susceptible to germs and stuff. And so no one's supposed to get within you're not supposed to get in 6 feet or 5. And cystic fibrosis, did that be it? I think that's what it was. So she was literally in a hospital, she literally lived in a hospital. And she fell in love with this boy who was also in the hospital with the same disease. So they're not allowed to be near each other, but they really like each other. The movie began, this is the part I want you to hear. The movie began with a little narration. And it was the girl that played the main character girl, and she said this. She said, oh, hold on. I want to get it right.
Take your time, take your time.
Right.
She said something to the effect of, actual studies have shown that children, especially babies and children, need human contact as much as they need air. So here's what I've been contemplating lately. Human contact is being vilified.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
In our culture, you don't dare reach out and connect with another human. Oh, I'm too afraid. What if they're offended? Yeah, that's why we're in the problem. That's why we're in the world that we're in now. Because I came from an era, and I'm Italian. Any Italians in here? Italian, we have right? La Familia, huh? You know it. So, all my life, you hug people. You're open and you're kind to people. And it's interesting to me, I believe that there is a direct correlation. I think there's a direct connection between what is happening in our culture where you don't dare touch somebody and the anger that people feel. People feel so alone and isolated. And people that I've met over the years at conventions, 500 at a time, appreciate the hug and the kindness and that openness. And just a couple don't. Just a few. But it ends up ruining it for everybody. Because suddenly you're afraid to just reach out and be kind to somebody. And they may desperately need that. This young lady, I'm going to pick on you.
That's fine.
This young lady could be going through the worst time in her life right now. And it was all she could do. It took every ounce of energy she could find to drag herself to this event to meet me. Okay? And she might be in such a bad place emotionally, been abandoned by a parent or a sibling or a boyfriend, and the fact that I came up, may I?
It's fine.
The fact that I came up to her and did this, and looked her in the face and acknowledged her and connected with her, might give her the strength she needs to continue. Whereas if I sat behind the table and went, thanks for coming. Fist bump. And then she goes home and she is as lonely and feels as disconnected as she ever did. So I'm not even applying this to my situation. I hope you understand this. I'm talking about our world. People have become so angry and so easily offended by everything. And I really think that there is a connection between the culture that is telling us, don't you dare touch anybody. Don't connect no human contact because it could be offensive or it could be misconstrued. But I think there's a connection between that and the isolation people feel and the anger that they feel. It would never be my desire to hurt anyone. I would never in a billion years want to offend or hurt anyone. That has never been my intention or my desire.
That's why we're here.
I believe you guys know that about me. And so I just wanted to take a minute because, like I said, I sit around my house alone thinking about these things. Maybe too much. But I really believe that's true. I really believe that's true. So if you have people in your lives, hug them. You know, reach out and just acknowledge them. That little bit of human contact right there. Now, he could go home and say I assaulted him.
Not fair. Why am I getting picked on?
Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? This is not assault, everyone. And you know what? It's actually an offense to people that are actually assaulted. I mean, think about that. You know? So I just want you guys to know my heart. That's all. I want you to know that I appreciate so much you guys being here and your kindness and your support for me and my work over the years. I have taken my position in this industry very seriously as long as I've been in it. I've seen it as something much bigger than just a job. I feel like it's been an opportunity to connect with people and to hopefully try to be a positive influence and an encouragement to people. And that's been the greatest privilege for me. And I really think that our culture has changed and not for the better. I think people need that human contact, like that movie said. I think it's as valuable to us as oxygen. So I really hope, and you know what, there's so many more of us. Do you realize there are so many more good people in the world than there are the offended, outraged? So many more of us, but we go about our lives. We're responsible, you know, we have jobs and we have families, we have relationships. We just go about our lives while this handful of people changes the whole landscape. And the majority of us are standing back on what's going on? Like, how is this happening? So you guys, be a voice for good. Be a voice for light and kindness and connect with people. Because you never know who in your life needs it badly. You know? Sorry. Soapbox is over. Sorry.